Well, my name is Maurice Didham, and the police came about mid-morning. I was away, and I come back and the police were in my house. They'd got in through the back window. But, you know, there's no good getting upset and no good. I didn't yell at the police or anything like that, you know. I'm caught, that's it, you know. And they asked me questions about it. And then they took all the plants out and the stuff, and then they took me down to the police stations, made some statements, and they just let me out again on bail immediately. Well, it didn't seem a big deal to me at the time. It was about a pound there, and there's 200 plants, but I didn't think it was a big deal myself. A small bathroom, and it's got boxes with 30 plants in each box, and you know these milk containers, 1 litre milk containers, I cut them down, and they're in these 1 litre milk containers and boxes there. And it's just, I had boards across the bath, those that sat across the bath and across the sink, and some there. But it did make up 200 plants all up. And there was one light, a 250 light. Well, what happens is they grow up and they get heads, small heads on all the tops of them, and that makes up about a pound roughly. My problem I have is my hip. I had a lawn mowing business, but my hip went. I got arthritis in the hip, and the hip went down. So that was my pocket money. That was where I was getting the extra money from my lawn mowing business. Yeah. For anybody that's tensed up or something like that, it could be a lifesaver. I slept very well. It helps you sleep, I can tell you that. I haven't been done for anything but only a speeding ticket and a parking ticket in the last 20 years. You know, so I pleaded guilty to both growing and possession and supply. But I pleaded guilty mainly because I thought it wasn't a big deal, and I just plead guilty, do me time or whatever I had to do, and walk away, you know what I mean? So I went along with it, and then when I pleaded guilty in the court, then the next day it was in the ODT, they had tagged on this, that these 200 plants were worth 240,000, you know what I mean? Which amounts to about between 5 and 60 pounds of marijuana. And it wasn't nothing like that. It was just a small operation, and they tagged this huge amount on me. Of course, I wished I could be worth that much, because most of the rich list will be made up of marijuana growers if it was worth that much. I talked to my lawyer, told him to get onto this in the court, but it wasn't enough. And they're just going to go on with it and charge me with this $240,000 worth of marijuana in my house. It's like creating 50 pound of marijuana and then charging you for it that didn't even exist. They are doing it to build themselves up and to make a big issue out of nothing. It just looks good for them, but I think, but in reality, it doesn't do the system any good to do those kinds of things. I don't know what they're doing. They stitched me up. It's a definite stitch up. And they didn't have something to read it somewhere the other day that they're trying to keep the prison population down. Well, this sort of thing isn't going to help. It's a total fiction. And of course, I'm upset about this, and I'm going to fight this forever if I have to. They do it to a lot of people, and I think it should be stopped. I personally am going to fight this forever until they stop doing these kinds. You cannot create, like when somebody robs a bank, when they rob the bank, and they get 15,000, why not say that the 20 million, the bank could be worth 20 million, why not say charge him with the $20 million bank robbery? The way things are going now, you should never, ever, ever plead guilty. It's just, you can't trust them. You can't trust them to stick with the facts. They're supposed to be sticking with the facts, and they're not. They're manufacturing, creating evidence that doesn't exist, and then they're plonking it on you and charging you for it. It shouldn't be allowed.